So welcome. I'm Shauna. So good to have you all here. If you haven't, I'm going to mute everybody in a moment just to be sure everybody's muted. But if you have any requests today, let me know. If you have any trouble seeing the video or something goes kaflooey, I do not have anybody doing any work in the backyard this week, so it should be a little quieter. But anyway, you can always unmute and say hi or talk to me. And I just want to thank you all for coming this morning. I want to thank McGaw Y for enabling us to create this virtual community, to be apart but together. So find a comfortable place to sit. You could sit like I am. You could sit cross-legged in Sukhasana. You could sit in, we haven't done that in a while, you could sit in hero's pose. You could sit in a kneeling position, just any comfortable sitting position here. And our nervous systems are undergoing so much, even though we're home, for the most part, it's a little scary to go out. If we're able to go out, it's so different to be home. This is kind of such a long time when we haven't been used to doing all the things that we usually do. So the more that we can use our yoga practice, of course, help keep us fit, but to help regulate our nervous system is good as well. So we're just going to start here. We're going to start by turning your head right and just kind of go at your own pace. And find an object, just rest your gaze on that object or whatever it is, and then you can say silently or out loud to yourself, just real simple, the color, the object, blue book, green wall, just something real simple, kindergarten simple. And take a breath or two. You can start to turn your head a little and find another object to look at. Again, naming it silently or out loud and simply. Just appreciating whatever you're looking at. And then finding a third object. And if you haven't already, let's go ahead and just turn our head to the left. We're going to find a couple more objects on the left side of the room. Let your focus settle. Notice and say what you're seeing. And then choose one more spot, sort of in the left side of the room. Really absorbing, taking it in, being present to that object. When you're ready, you can bring your gaze back to the center. If it feels right here, you can close your eyes and see if you can discern 3 different sounds. Maybe they're from within inside the place where you are or outside, and just again, simply naming that sound. Maybe it's from inside your own body. And then let yourself be present and describe 3 sensations that you're feeling in your body right now. Maybe it's how you're connecting to your prop or the earth. That's something else. And just let your breath stay deeper and gentler. So moving into a deeper, gentler breath. So how can you do that without adding a lot of force? And without bringing the breath, sometimes this idea of deeper moves the breath more into the chest and the throat, which can sometimes rev up the nervous system rather than helping to regulate the nervous system. So again, just noticing when you move into a gentler, deeper breath, where do you feel that? Bring your hands together at your heart center. You can create a space here for a positive sankalpa, a dedication, an intention. Good. And then opening the eyes, come on into the room and take yourself to the floor. So we'll start on your back this morning. So making your way onto your back. You can draw your knees into your chest. You can have a little fun here. Whatever feels good to you. You could take your knees in a circle. You could hold on and rock a little. You could move your knees independently. Just taking some circles here. I've been liking this one where I use my hands to kind of circle my knees out wide and then together away from my chest, back towards the chest. Wherever you're going, take a few in the other direction. Really starting to juicify up your hips. Maybe this feels like a nice massage for your low back. And then if you don't have your hands on your knees, take your hands to your knees. Take your knees apart, so over towards your side ribs. And then roll, let your right knee roll to the floor, left can come on top of it. You're gonna come all the way to the right side. And then lift the left knee, roll back onto your back. Come over to the left side, let that right knee stack. So just play with coming all the way over side to side. Don't have to go fast. Let this be a massage for the back of the body. And when you get over to the right side next time, you can take your right arm right out from your chest. And you can play again. We'll just play a little bit with the knees here if we need to. We're going to lift up that left arm and reach it over. Bring the arms to T, chest towards the ceiling. So knees stay towards the right. So big twist here. Here's where you could play. You could bring your ankles under your knees. If you need to bring your knees a little closer to the chest or a little farther towards your hips, so you could just play with that position a little bit, but both knees are to the right. Good. And then unwind back over to the right, hold on to the knees. We'll go side to side again. So left knee comes up, knees are apart here, and then you're gonna roll to the left, right knee stacks, and come back to center. Ooh, good. Yeah, it's good to have a little play. Can you let what would it be like to let your yoga practice be just what you need it to be today? When you get over to the left side next time, we'll do that same thing. So knees stacks. When you're ready, you can take that left arm out to T from the chest. You can reach the right arm up and over, turning the chest towards the ceiling, keeping the knees to the left, making any adjustments. If that top knee doesn't want to rest, you could grab a book or a block to set between them. But it's getting into this nice, yummy twist here. Carefully unwind, come back to the center. Good. Now we're going to bring the knees over the hips, ankles in alignment with the knees. We're going to do a little core work here. So feel that bottom of the sacrum heavy. Draw in through the seatbelt muscles. Good. Lift the chest. Let your head stay a little bit heavy here. And we'll do some bicycles. So exhaling, we'll bring that right elbow towards the left knee. Inhale to center, keep the chest lifted. Exhale, twist. But inhale, center, you can go at your own pace. Inhaling, center, exhaling to twist if it feels better. And you want to exhale and then inhale and twist if you want to really just go side to side without that pause in the center. So keeping that sense of focus on your transverse abdominals. Thinking more about bringing the knee towards the shoulder and really trying to crank the neck or the elbow to the knee. Good. 2 more on each side if you can stay with me here. And it's your practice today, so you can modify. Oh, Oh, good. All right, and release. Let's stretch the legs out long. Reach the arms up and overhead. Oh, reach the fingers towards the wall or whatever's behind you. Reach your feet long. Oh, take a nice stretch here. Turn your head a little side to side. Take a deeper, gentler breath. Good. And then draw the knees into your chest. Roll yourself up to sitting. Good. And then bring the legs underneath. Come forward to table pose. Good. So we'll take a little cat-cow here. Wrist under shoulders. Fingers not too wide and not too narrow. A little space between the fingers here. Feel the triceps pressing into the upper arm bone. Find those transverse abdominals we just got in touch with. Inhale to your cow tilt. Exhaling into your cat stretch. See if you can find the abdominals on both sides of this one. Just a lightness, not necessarily a lot of work. Good. See if you can find the extension in the upper back, the workings of the vertebra in the thoracic rib cage, that upper back rib cage when you move into your cow tilt. Ooh, and maybe you enjoy it in that flexion in your cat stretch. And come back into neutral table pose. Walk your hands a little in front of the shoulders, tuck the toes, shift the hips up and back, and find your downward facing dog. So you could step your feet about hip distance apart. Hands could be shoulder distance apart here. You could deeply bend one knee and then press the heel back, and then deeply bend the other knee and unbend, press the heel back. So again, bringing the belly towards the thigh. Paddling here while you guys explore your downward facing dog. I'm going to make sure our meeting is locked here. Good. So just exploring your down dog. There we go. Okay, great. Let's walk your hands back towards your feet, coming into a forward fold. You could step your feet a little wider here, clasp the elbows and rock a little side to side, letting your head hang. Feeling into any movement in your neck or head here that feels good. So you can come back to center, keep moving the head a little, yes or no. Good. All right, release the hands. Inhale, stretch the chest halfway forward. Exhale, bring the forehead towards the ankles and inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Good, exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, fold. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reach up, stretching the arms up and overhead. Exhaling, hands to heart. Good. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Right hand clasps left. Exhale, lateral stretch. So try not to let that left, sometimes we let that left hip kick over, and that's fine. So maybe if that feels fine, you can do it. But consciously maybe try to stack the left hip over your left ankle. You play around with drawing the elbows apart here a little, see how that feels. Woo. A little isometric drawing apart. Stretch the arms long. Inhale, up, left hand clasps. Right, exhale, other side. Right hip stays stacked over the ankle. Breathing here, that deeper, gentler breath. Probably feels different on the left side than the right. Maybe elbows bend. Oh, yeah. Good. And inhale to center. Let's leave the arms up. Reach with the middle finger. Exhale, sit down, chair pose. Utkatasana. So we're trying to take the groins back. We're trying to sit up as much as possible, but you will tilt forward a little. We're trying to make this work be about the glutes and the hamstrings, so not about the knee joint. Heels are heavy. Good. Exhale, forward fold. Good. As you inhale, we're going to step the right leg back into a low lunge. So give yourself some padding if you need some padding for that right knee. Left knee over the ankle. Inhale, Anjaneyasana. We're going to work with the upper arms here. So as you exhale, I'm just doing a little cactus here. Cactus arms. Oops, I lost, there we go. Oops. And my phone fell over, let's not have that happen. There we go. All right, turn it around. All right, so we're doing with the right leg back. Good, we're gonna do some cactus arms. So we're gonna exhale, bring the elbows towards the waist. Inhale, reach up. Be kind to your lumbar here. Good. See if you can, as you draw the elbows down, let the shoulders draw away from the ears. And then maybe at the very end, just feel a little of that cow tilt, a little of that thoracic stretch. Good. Exhale, forward. Good. We'll step that right foot forward. Good. Left foot forward, and then we'll step the left foot back into a low lunge here. Oops. Left foot back, low lunge, other side. Good. Inhale, crescent stretch. Exhale, cactus arms, elbows towards the side waist. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. And all the while, we're feeling stretch through the front of that back hand, back hip flexor. Good. Nice. All right, exhale. We'll lift the back knee and step back plank pose. So finding your plank here. Good. Draw the transverse abdominals up, but you can sink the hips down, protract through the shoulders. Good. Resist the floor. Make sure the wrists are underneath the shoulders, shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, lower down slowly, keeping the elbows towards your body, and inhale. Take a cobra here if that feels good. You can take a sphinx pose. Nice. Exhale, downward facing dog. You can always come through table pose. Good. And lift your toes here. Just lift the toes. Try to stretch them apart. Maybe that really turns on the back of the legs. So if you need to micro bend the knees in your down dog, that's all good. As you exhale, look forward. You can walk or hop your feet forward. Inhale, halfway. Exhale, bring the forehead towards the ankles. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Good. Exhale, hands to heart. Inhale, reach up. Exhale to fold. Good. Inhale, stretch the chest halfway forward. And then as you exhale, plant the hand, step the left leg back. So we're coming back to the low lunge. We just started with the other leg. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead a few times with those cactus arms. Exhale, elbows to side waist. Inhale, reach. Good. Whew, maybe feel a little work in the lower traps. Good. So those muscles right underneath the shoulder blades, drawing together. Whew. Good. Release that, and we're going to option here to come into a hurdler stretch here that you could hold, or you could play again. I'm just going to let you play. You could move between a low lunge and a hurdler stretch. Kind of see what feels good this morning. I'm liking this moving. Knowing again, you could always grab a couple props, a block or a book or a toilet paper roll. Yeah, so you could just really, yeah. Good, whatever feels right. Now come into your, if you're already in your hurdler stretch, you've been holding that, that's fine. You could move a little, let the ankle go a little side to side, trimming the toes internally and then towards the outer edge of the mat. Whew. Good. All right. Bend the front knee. Good. Lift the back knee. We'll step the right leg back. Good. We'll step the left foot forward. Low lunge. So second side, other side. Inhale, reach the arms up. And exhale. Cactus arms a few times. Inhale, reaching arms up. Good. Exhale, elbows towards side waist. Good. Even isometrically pull with that front heel towards your sits bone. Turn it on the hamstrings. Good. And exhale forward. Either hinging back to hurdler stretch for a nice hold here if that feels good for you today. You could hold it here, play around. I'm feeling today like it feels good to move between the two. So you can take a little movement between the two, pad the back knee. I've got 2 mats under my back knee. Or take a break again. If this is not feeling like happiness for a part of the body. Woo. Okay. Good. Come back into your hurdler stretch. You've been holding it. Maybe you've already started to play. You could turn your ankle side to side. Woo. All right, bend the front knee, lift the back. Now we're going to step back, plank pose. Good, so find your plank. Only another 40 minutes in this pose. Resist away from the floor. So you're lifting your heart away from the floor, protracting or rounding the upper shoulders. Good, you're kind of letting the front of the thighs lower, but keeping the pubic bone drawing towards your belly button. So the core stays on. Exhale, lower. Inhale, cobra, and then we're going to try a second variation of cobra. We're going to try a flying cobra. So as you exhale, release, take your arms out to T, elbows are bent, hands at shoulder height, but press the top of the feet into the floor. Inhale, lift up a little flying cobra. Good, exhale, release. Bring the hands under the shoulders. You could press yourself to table, you could press yourself back into plank, and exhale, downward facing dog. Whew. All right, good work here. Let's lift the toes one more time and then set the toes down. Let's lift the heels. Oh, just for fun, let's lift and lower a few times. Good. Good. All right, let's bring the feet together. Inhale, reach the right leg up. Exhale, I'm going to cross the right knee over to the left tricep, your left elbow. We're going to try and cross it across. We're going to do that 3 times. Inhale, or as many times as you want today. Inhale, use the core, cross. Inhale, stretch back. Last time. Woo, cross over. Good. Inhale back. And this time as you exhale, I'm going to step the front foot forward. Good. And we'll rise up into a crescent lunge. Good. Yeah. So you can have a micro bend in that back knee. We'll reach the arms up and overhead. But as you exhale, we're going to bend a little more deeply, maybe that back knee bends. So we're going to feel the quad on that back leg. As you inhale, we're going to straighten the front knee. So you're going to feel the hamstring a little more on that front right leg. You got our cactus arms. Inhaling and exhaling. Good. Whew. Nice. Ah. So feeling the hamstring on that front right leg, maybe feeling the quad on that back leg. Good. All right. Stay in your low crescent lunge. See if you can straighten the back leg. We're going to hinge forward so you can bring your belly a little closer to the thigh. I'm sorry I'm going to be turning away from you guys, but we're going to do a revolve twist here. So you're going to try to bring that left elbow over the right, prayer twist. Press the top palm into the bottom. Good. So you could just work that with one arm, could come across. Good. Press the palm. Woo. You could let that back knee gently come to the floor. That's another nice way to do this one. So you could work it here. All right. Inhale, unwind. You need to grab a couple props here. We're going to take the hand to frame the front foot, and then we're going to straighten the front knee into our Parshvottanasana. And I'm going to step my back leg in a little bit here. Yeah. So both knees are straighter here. Yeah. Hips are squaring towards the front of the mat. Nice Parshvottanasana. Ooh, maybe the hamstrings are turning on. See what happens if you lift the front toes, just for fun. Ooh, is that even available? And then release them. Ooh. Good. Folding. Ooh. Good. All righty. We'll bend that front knee. Nice. Plant the hands, step back to plank pose. Good. And then we're going to bring that right foot to stack, maybe. So you could also do this on your knees. Shoulders over wrists, option to do 3 push-ups. You could come halfway down, press up. You could do this with both feet on the floor. You do this with both knees on the floor. Oh man, those are hard. Oh gosh. All right, take one more to grow on if you're so inclined. Holy moly. Unstack that back foot, lower down. Inhale. Take your cobra pose. You could take your sphinx pose. And then let's try a flying cobra here. This time with our flying cobra, tone the core, hands out to the side. You come up onto the fingertips. There you go. Okay. I'm going to try to just gently lift the feet, maybe an inch, and then see if you can lift the chest and lift the fingertips. Can you do your flying cobra with the core engaged, so not so much scrunching the low back? Good. What's going on with the neck? And release. Good. Press yourself into table, or you could come into that plank pose, down dog. Woo. Good. Take some nice, gentler, deeper breaths here. Tune in to how you're feeling inside here. Maybe this starts to feel like a resting pose, down dog. Who knew? All right, let's bring the feet closer together and lift up the heels. Reach the left leg up. Exhale, using the core, we're going to cross the left knee over to that right elbow or right tricep. So we're going to try 3 of those, moving at your own pace. You can bring your shoulders over your wrists. So it's kind of like a nice plank pose there. Use the core, find the twist. Good. And then after those 3, exhale. Step the left foot forward to our crescent lunge position, reaching the arms up and overhead. So take your time here. You can bend the back knee, bringing the shin a little closer to the floor. Good. As you exhale, we're going to bring the arms, those cactus arms, elbows towards the side. And then inhale. We're going to straighten both the back and the front leg lightly. So you're feeling the quad on that back leg. You're working with a hamstring on the left leg. So that's what we want to feel. We don't want that front knee going in front of the ankle. Front knee stays right over the ankle. Good. Good. Nice. Woo, all right, I don't know about you, but I got a good, I'm sweating, so that feels good here. Hinge forward, we're gonna revolve here. So maybe again, maybe the revolve is for you today is this. Maybe you bring the right elbow over, find your prayer twist. Try to straighten the back leg. See if that helps at all. This is also a big balance challenge here. Good. Turn, rotate the heart towards the side of the room or towards the ceiling. Good. Find your breath. Inhale to unwind. Grab your blocks if you need them. Frame that front foot and extend the front knee. So we're coming into our standing head to knee pose, Parshvottanasana. So we're squaring both feet and hips towards the front of the mat. You could have a micro bend in the knees, but we're really feeling into those hamstrings. Folding the torso over the front knee. Good. What was that intention we set for the day so long ago? Oh boy. Good. All right, bend the front knee, bring the hands to the floor. We're going to step back. Let's step back into 3-legged dog with that left leg if you can. 3-legged dog. Good. And then as you come down, we're going to stack the left foot on the right heel. So you could do this on your knees. Option, you could come into devotional. 3 push-ups. Keeping the elbows close to the body. And I like to exhale to lower and inhale to press up. You could try it the other way just for yucks. Whoa. All right. Take that back foot off. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, find your cobra or sphinx. Oh, good. Exhale, release. Let's try a flying cobra. So hands, elbows bent, hands, fingertips to the floor. Draw the legs together, lightly lift the legs. Use the core and then lift. Find that articulation in the upper back. Woo. Good. All right, release yourself into table pose. All right, another way to torture us this morning. So we're going to do our broken toe pose, tucking the toes under. Now, you have some options here, so you don't have to stay in. We're going to be here for a while. So if it's available, coming up, and try to make sure that your pinky and ring toe are getting that nice flexion. Good. So permission, of course, as always, to come out when you need to. You can come out of this pose when you need to. All right, we're gonna take the arms to goal pose. We're gonna wrap the right arm under the left, coming into eagle arms. We're gonna try to lift the chest lightly towards the elbows. We're trying to lift the elbows towards the underneath of the nose. And we're trying to release the shoulders down. So all of that to find a good upper back stretch and to take our mind off our toes. Good to see with this next exhale what you can release tension from. If there's any excess tension in this pose in the upper back, inhale, unwind. Good, exhale, now the left arm's coming under. We're finding a single wrap is fine. I should have said that. You could single wrap here, you could double wrap. If you're double wrapping, just be sure that you're not flexing at the wrist. We want a nice straight line from fingertips to elbows. Lift the heart. It's okay to take my name in vain here. I know my toes are talking to me too. All right, let's just finish this nice eagle stretch. Garudasana, eagle arms. Oh, mama. All right, unwind. Oh, beautiful. All right, take the toes out if it feels good.
I de-escalate.
Yeah? Question? No? Okay. We're just coming back in here. Okay. Whoa. All right, downward facing dog. Yay. All right, now just see with your feet. Do your heels after that stretch, does it feel like your heels can stretch back a little more deeply after that toe stretch? Oh. So just check into any difference in the back of the legs, how the back of the legs are feeling. Let's exhale, walk the hands back towards the feet. Inhaling halfway. Exhale, fold. Good. Inhale to reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. We're doing our time here. All right, good. Let's try this. Inhale, reach the arms up and overhead. Exhale, chair. Good, and now we're just gonna try our chair twist over to the right. So option could be you could take that left elbow in between and just take that right hand back. You could bring it all the way across, find your prayer hands. Good, keeping the knees level and keeping that left hip back while we're trying to find the openness through the heart. Ooh. All right, inhale, center. Exhale to the left side. So again, trying to bring the left elbow in. You could work there. You could take a little bind. You could cross over, prayer twist here, and then just notice my right See, my right knee really wants to curve forward. So we're trying to keep those hips squared. Whoa! I know yours don't do that. Just mine. And inhale, rise up. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. All right, just take a couple breaths here. Just regulating in the standing position. Feeling into your hips. We do a lot of twisting. We're going to do some more twisting. All right, so we're going to do a little balancing here with eagle pose. So if you'd rather stand on the floor, I've got my 2 mats, so that makes it a little more challenging. We're going to bend the knees. So it's fine, just kind of sit down a little bit like you're going towards chair pose. We'll lift the right leg up and over. You could single or double wrap. You can play with your balance all you want here. I'm going to press those toes into the foot. All right, eagle arms, eagle legs. So we're going to bring that right elbow under. So you could try again, single wrap or double wrap here. We're trying full eagle. If you're balancing on that left standing leg, tone the core. Well, wherever you're doing, tone the core. And then just enjoy it. Can you find what it's like to be present in this pose? Good. All right, so now we're going to carefully unwind the right leg. Good. And lift it off that left knee. You could keep it bent and hinge forward with your eagle arms into a variation of warrior 3. So you could keep that back knee bent at 90 degrees. You could go right into a standing lunge, or you could move into warrior 3 as you extend the back leg with your eagle arms. Warrior 3 eagle arms. Good. So that back leg is parallel to the floor, and then fold forward. Maybe you're already there, hands to the floor. Oops, I'm a little close to the wall. Good. Standing splits. Oh, yeah. Good. Good. With that right leg lifted. All right, and then you can walk the hands forward. We're gonna let's come into a three-legged dog. So you're leaving that right leg lifted, coming into three-legged dog. We're gonna bring that right leg, I'm gonna try to do this so you can see me. We're gonna bring that right leg, good, crossing over and inhale back. So a little more for the core and twisting. Good, so you're gonna draw it over, trying to draw that knee up. One more time. And this time, hold that knee underneath, it's underneath the chest. And then if it's available, we're gonna extend that right leg across, ankle is hip height. Good, you could tuck the back toes under, and then you're gonna bring your forearms to the floor. Maybe you have to keep your hands up. Good, so we're just finding our way into Bridget's cross here. If it's available to you. It's like doing our standing, ooh, good, it's like doing our standing Padangusthasana with a twist here. All right, last option, if you're feeling really gung-ho, you can take that left arm and do a little thread the needle, whoa, over to the right. That might be too intense and may feel, another option might be just pressing that right hand into the floor and keeping that left forearm on the floor. So that might be a nice option for your twist. You could try thread the needle. Whoa, that's intense. So just be mindful. Use your discernment about what's best for you. So again, you could do a little twist here. I'm just pressing my right hand into the floor with my left forearm on the mat. Good. Or your twist. Whoa. All right. Carefully untwist. Walk the hands under the shoulders. If your back toe isn't tucked, tuck the back toe. You're going to keep this ankle on the floor. We're going to lift the hips up. Good. Draw the knee in. Good. Set it down, table pose. Exhale into devotional. Ooh, yeah. See if you can rest your forehead on the mat. If you want, you could bring your arms into child's pose, hands alongside the ankles, making a ladybug shape here. Letting the shoulders release towards the earth. Nice. Bring the hands forward. Come to table pose and downward facing dog. Exhaling to lift. Good. Again, checking in with the back of your legs, checking in with your lumbar. Noticing the shoulders. Are the arms straight, elbows straight? Are you feeling as though you were like in handstand pose? You're drawing the shoulders away from the ears. Arms nice and straight, pressing the floor evenly away. Good. Let's walk your hands towards your feet. Forward fold. Take a bow. Inhale, halfway, stretch the chest forward. Exhale, fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Exhale, hands to heart. Good. All right, we get to do that whole little lovely series on the other side. So we'll stand on the right leg. We're going to start in our eagle pose. Good. So you can take a little bend. So try not to jut the knees out too forward. So we don't want to feel this in the knee joint. We'll cross the left leg over, single cross or double cross if you can tuck the foot behind. I'm resting the toes on the floor. Arms to goal post. When you're ready, left arm under, eagle arms, second time, second side. Feeling that nice big shoulder opening. Lifting, so we're lifting the heart away from the belly. Finding a little of that lift in the upper back. All right, we're gonna carefully lift that left leg up. And option to come forward into a warrior three. So you could keep that back knee bent in 90 degrees. Keep your eagle arms if that's available. You could straighten the back leg just for yucks. Good. Unwind the hands and come forward into a standing straddle stretch there. Whew. Yeah, I'm gonna do the other side here. Okay, good. So you got that left leg lifted towards the sky. Walk the hands forward, make your way into three-legged dog. And then we're gonna bring that left knee across to the tricep or the elbow 3 times, inhaling to extend back, exhaling to curl, draw it over, using the core, using the twist. Those oblique muscles on the right side are working here, excuse me, on the left side are working. Good. And then on that last time, we're gonna extend that left leg over to the left. Hips are off the floor. Good. Lower the left hip to the earth. Left ankle outside the hip. Maybe those right toes are tucked, and you're gonna turn to bring your forearms to the floor here. Bridget's cross. If that's available, that's too intense, please take a break. Ooh, you could come back into your revolved chair pose. If this is like, oh, Shauna, I really don't want to do this one, that's okay. You could take revolved chair. You could come into a standing revolved Padangusthasana if that seems fun. Option here option A is right forearm on the floor, left hand presses, and you could twist towards the side there, or you can thread your right arm through, coming in to thread the needle. Whoa. So if you're threading the needle, you're threading it in the opposite direction of your extended leg. So I may not be mirroring you right now because I've got my left leg extended. So you should have your left leg with that other leg extended too. And then carefully extracting the arm. Good, walk the hands under the shoulders. Lift the hips. Good. We'll draw that left leg back. Come into your downward facing dog. Inhale, table, and exhale into devotional child's pose. Take a break here. Find your breath. Right. And then let's come forward into table pose. All right, let's just try a nice quad stretch here. So you can step your right foot forward. Maybe it's better if I face you guys. I'm gonna step the right foot forward, so now I am mirroring you. Good, and you can slide that left knee back, give it some padding. The last two, you can reach back here with one hand. If it's available, you could reach back with one hand, that same left hand to clasp the ankle or the foot, finding a quad stretch here, and trying to be nice and tall, lifting the sternum. Good. You could get really wild and crazy and try to bring both hands back to clasp that foot. So maybe you need to walk that front foot out a little bit. It's okay. Oh, it's a little balance challenge. Good. Find that retraction. Shoulder blades gently drawing towards each other. Quads saying something to you. Good. And then, good. Release. Change sides. Good. We'll step the left foot forward. Low lunge. Give the back knee some padding. Find a nice stretch for the hip flexor. Same arm. Right hand is reaching back for the ankle or the foot. If it's available, you can use a strap here. You can keep that left hand right on the knee. But find your good opening through the front of that quadricep. We did a lot of quad work today. So find that release option to bring both hands back. Balance challenge, I realize. So find your deeper, gentler breath. Gently retracting the shoulders. Maybe you feel a little light squish as the skin ripples on your upper back. Oh yeah. And go ahead and release. Bring the hands to the floor. Good. We'll sit back, drawing the legs forward. And let's draw the soles of the feet together. Bound angle. Any variation here, hands could be behind the hips. You could roll up your mat a little to give your sits bones a little lift. If that feels right, you could hold on to the ankles or onto the bottom of the feet. And when you're ready, good. Folding forward. We're finding a little bit, we're trying to channel a little bit of an anterior tilt or just a hint of a cow tilt in the lumbar. the top of the lumbar is tilting towards the belly button, and then we're trying to keep a neutral upper spine, neutral neck. So back and front of the neck spine are nice and elongated. Inhale to rise. Hold on to the knees, draw them together. Good, and then rolling onto your back. So you can hold on to the thighs or not if you want to look forward. Rolling down. There we go. Okay, oops, I just turn off my video. Oh, go. Put my video back on. Oh. There we go. Shauna, let's get my video on. Sorry about that. All right, I'm not sure why my video's not on. We're laying on your back. Good, draw your knees into your, there we go. The host is asking me, that's fine. All right, there's my video back. All right, so draw your knees into your chest like we did at the beginning of class. Any movement here with your knees that feels yummy. You could even, I'm liking this one too, let the left foot float to the floor with the knee bent, and you could just take some nice circles with that right knee, using the hand on the knee. Maybe that feels yummy. You can take a few circles in each direction. And if you're doing it on one knee, there we go, let the right foot come to the floor. Try a little with the left, circle the left knee. All right. Let's all put the right foot onto the floor, and we'll come into a half happy baby. Good, with the left leg. So right foot's on the floor, knee is bent. Knee is going straight towards the ceiling, so try not to let it just flop out to the side. Good, find your half happy baby and release. Let the left foot come to the floor. You're gonna think about drawing that knee straight to the ceiling. Reach for the outer side of that right foot into half happy baby with the right leg. We'll come into happy baby with both legs. Ooh, just for fun. You could rock and roll a little side to side. And we're going to add in a bridge pose here. Just one more nice back bend. So float both feet to the floor. Walk your heels a little closer to your hips. If you could feel like maybe your middle finger could touch your heel. My arms are a little short, so that one's always a little bit challenging, but that might be a fun one to try today. And then you just kind of gently draw the shoulder blades under you. Let's take robot arms. Press down through the soles of the feet. Lift the hips. Use the hamstrings. Use the inner thighs. High on the inner thighs. Good. Use the core. Stretch the belly. Chest is moving towards the chin. Good. Pressing down those upper arms. So stay here. If you want, you could interlace the hands behind your low back, walking your shoulders a little closer together if that feels good. Again, try not to, you don't have to come up so high that you're overextending the lumbar. Just let it be a good belly stretch. And release. Good. You come back into those robot arms, rolling down vertebra by vertebra. And then just take a moment here in constructive rest. Walk the feet a little wider, let the knees drop together. You could rest your palms on your belly. You could rest your palms on your heart. You could take cactus arms one more time. Finding your breath, deeper, gentler breath. And then we'll end as we started. So both knees to chest, hands on the knees. Take the knees apart. And then let the right knee roll to the floor as you roll to the right side, and then the left knee lands on top of it. And then we'll lift up the left knee, come back to center, knees apart, rolling over to the left side, left knee to the floor, right knee comes on top. So just kind of that little, it's kind of like a little inchworm, or maybe a caterpillar, or a slinky. One part moves, and then the other part kind of follows along. And rolling on, staying on your right side, stacking the knees,
right arm to T, and then stretching that left arm over, chest towards the sky. So arms to T, nice big twist here. You can even turn your gaze towards the left hand if that feels good for your neck. If your neck is turned, bring it back to center. Bring that left arm back across. Clasp the knees, lift the left knee, good. Then the right, come back onto your back. Roll a few times side to side with that kind of segmented feel. Good. And next time you're on your left side, let your knees stack. Left arm comes out chest height. You can bring your right arm across, twisting the chest towards the ceiling, knees to the left. Enjoying this beautiful version of Jatara Parivartanasana. Turn your gaze towards that right arm if that feels good. And bringing your gaze back to center. Good, roll that right arm over, clasp the knees, come back onto your back. Good, any last poses here if you want to again come back into happy baby. I've been liking this one where you can pick one leg out at a time from your happy baby and kind of rock a little, although we've already been doing some rocking. So see what you need here. Ooh, any last stretch or movement, or maybe there's a yoga pose. And then making your way into a comfortable position for Shavasana. You could lay on your side, your back. You could lay on your belly, take your legs up the wall. All kinds of options today. So getting comfortable in Shavasana. So I'm going to sit and hold our space so you can relax and be present. And close your eyes. Relax your jaw. Take a couple exhales out your mouth if that feels good. With every exhale again, just finding a place that's a little more comfortable and relaxed for your limbs, for your mind. It's just kind of creating a nice space for your mind to relax as much as your body. As you move into your relaxation pose, I just want to share a fairly famous poem or a little haiku from Rumi. He's a Bhakti poet. Bhakti simply means, the Bhakti tradition is that you can connect directly to the divine without an intermediary. It's a belief system that you don't need a priest or an intermediary to stand between you and the divine. You can find that connection through music, through poetry, through songs. So Rumi was one of the most famous Bhakti poets. Out beyond ideas of wrongdoing and right doing, there is a field. I'll meet you there. you like to stay in Shavasana beyond class, you can just stay there. Turn us off or just stay there. You don't have to do a thing. You can just stay in Shavasana. Otherwise, let your mind come gently back into your body, just coming back into your physical self, feeling yourself wherever you've placed yourself on the floor, feeling your breath. Starting to move anything, if you need to move fingers or toes, wrists, ankles. Take a big stretch, reaching your arms up and overhead and lengthening your feet away from your belly. When you're ready, you can come onto your side. Enjoying that transition, being present for that transition from wherever you were in resting pose to your side, letting the earth hold you. And then when you're ready, you can press the top hand into the floor, floating your head up last as you come back into sitting. Oh, there we are. Moving at your own pace here at the end of the practice, bringing your hands to your heart center if that feels right for you. Let's end with a nice nervous system regulating Om, that vibration in the chest and throat. It's just so good. So good for us. So you could either just listen or you could participate. Exhaling gently, inhaling gently. Oh. Thanks for coming today. Namaste. Alrighty, good work, everyone. I will unmute if anybody needs to, and some of you might have to follow a little prompt that says that I'm asking to unmute you, but if anybody wants to say hi to anybody else or.
Thank you.
You're welcome, thank you.
Hey, Jessica. Hi.
Hello, hello.
Jessica,
Great
for being here last week. Thanks for coming back again. So good to see you. All right, and this will get posted. I'll send it a little later to the Y today, so. we're
Thank you,
posting-
Shauna. That went by really fast.
Oh, God. Well, hopefully we're feeling strong. I'm starting to feel that quarantine pile on here, unfortunately. All right. Okay.
Have a great day.
Next week,
Bye.
we see you for meditation and gentle yoga on Thursday.
Yeah.
All righty. Let's come this way. Come this way.